Hi again, Jeff here again. um, this video I'm going to talk about again another example of over engineering things, and I'm going to use a few I'm going to give a few different examples because I think this is really interesting. I was at a guitar master class with seven different people. I'm actually in a, kind of in a park area, so got a little bit of noise or background noise about nature, right? So doing this while I'm walking down. Um, the So I was in a master class with seven students with a really well-known guitar player, and the whole focus of his time at that master class was to show us how to spend a significant amount of time on specific techniques to do a specific niche type of guitar playing. Okay, and all the comments that he gave were always, "You got to spend a lot of time. You got to spend a lot of time. You got to spend a lot of time." Um, and it was funny that those that were kind of in that mode were talking about how much time they had spent years doing this. And he said, this is years of work. This is a lifelong journey. It was funny when I was talking to him. I said, well, my kind of approach is whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to look at it for 5 minutes. And if I can't do it in 5 minutes, at least the basic thing, then I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to spend time on it because I can do 25, 30, 40, 50 songs the time you'd learn one song, right? And so this was a really interesting bait. And there were some people that were actually giggers, concert players, and some had done this regularly and some had not. You had some couch players, right? And there was a whole debate over it's not a pleasure, right? There's no pleasure. The whole thing is what's pleasure. And the whole thing was how much time you invest on the song. And I kept saying, well, so some people said you got to spend a lot of time because you spend a lot of time to play the song for you. And I said, well, no, it's not for me. It's for my customers. And what my customers care about is what I care about. And when my customers are satisfied, then I'm happy, right? My happiness is not my happiness in playing music is for me is not about how happy I am with my feelings. It's based on how many smiles I get, how many claps I get, or whatever likes or beers people give me, literally. And yeah, I don't try to avoid getting people give me money, right? I'm not trying to be a street kind of busker in that kind of way. But they'll come up and give me beers regularly from at the restaurant, right? Or you can give me beer if they got beers with them, right? And it's a whole different approach, an entirely different approach. And all the musicians I know that really play a lot and want to play, kind of semi-professional, they always want to play somewhere, right? But the thing is, if you're focusing on playing for yourself, then you're going to spend so much time in the song to get it perfect that you won't spend time on other things. So I want to talk about this over-engineering thing. It's really interesting because I see this in other fields. If you spend so much time in the song, you're not going to do other songs and make other songs that people like, right? And so I want to approach this to another field where I've seen, like the whole translation field, where translators will spend so much time making things perfect, whereas the customer doesn't always want it to be perfect. They don't care. They just want it to be understandable. And there's this whole debate over what do customers want. And there's a lot of the translators that do it, saying that they know what the customers are, but actually they're doing things more than the customers are asking for. And if they haven't asked what the customer wants, and the actual customer doesn't want as much, then doing all the extra work to eventually just get a translation that's more than the customer wants and wasn't want to pay for, then all that extra work really wasn't beneficial because the translator couldn't go and work on other jobs. They could have made money. They can't. It's the same thing. It's the same kind of approach as the music thing I said. I want to do as many songs as I can so I can touch as many people. And so I want to do the minimum of every single song to be able to touch the amount of people to make sure that I'm hitting a lot of satisfaction. If I hit 25 songs and people don't like 2 of them, I at least got 23 other songs that people like. But if you spend all your time in 1 or 2 songs that you could do in 25, then you're betting on the fact that people are going to like those 1 or 2 songs, right? If they don't like them, then you spend all that time and it's not going to work. So back in the translation thing, I'm backing forward to understand, if you spend too much time doing making it perfect, but you lose the opportunity to get other jobs, because you could spread out your productivity across the business jobs and still get the money for all of them. You're losing on your business. It's a business thing. It's a business. So I think this is a really key thing of you need to evaluate what is the productivity and actually what is the time invested, how much you're going to get out of it, and how much is it really satisfying the customer versus how much is making you happy to believe that you did it the best. Because actually, if you do it too much, you've over-engineered it. And you're going to have a hard time making a living. And a lot of translators struggle with this. They do. So this is a really interesting thing to think about. Again, these are my thoughts as I'm talking to people and stuff. But I think it's something that's worth thinking about because we can apply this to all fields, right? Restaurants, if you focus on making the meal perfect for one person, you're not going to stay in business. If you're trying to get the services just, it covers, gets through, and a lot of people get their food and they have a decent meal, then you stay in business, right? This applies to a lot of fields. So something to really think about, and make some comments. Give me what you think. I think this is an ongoing, it's an interesting, I'll say it's a dialogue, a discussion, debate, right? About what your approach and knowing what your purpose is, right? Thanks so much. Take care. Have a good day.